So day 5 was another working day. So we had to do two things on this day. We had to finish our songs, and then we had a workshop with Navi Beats. Navi Beats is a Grammy award-winning producer. In the morning, we woke up, we had breakfast. Of course, I had my bacon and eggs. Me, Garfield, and Janelia actually wanted to go to a mall nearby so we could actually buy some clothes, you know, just do some shopping and whatnot. We took an Uber, we went to this mall, and let me tell you, the mall was closed because it was still carnival time. So we ended up at another carnival party. This one was more chilled because it was just the three of us, you know, we were just kind of exploring. Because the place was closed, we were just like, hey dude, we might as well just enjoy the rest of this party. We were at the party for like an hour. It was pretty nice, chilled vibes. We were all just like in very relaxed clothes, and you know, it was just like a very chilled day. Well, not chilled day, but it was just, this one was just more chill than the other one. So after that happened, we went back to the hotel to get ready for the Navi Beats workshop. We got there. Like I said, I didn't know who these guys were before this whole trip, right? So he starts speaking about Fast and Furious and how the song that he did for Fast and Furious changed his life, and you know, how he still gets paid from that song to this day. So I was just like, okay, which songs did these guys actually create in the Fast and Furious movie? So Navi Beats and Marcelo D Dois actually created the Fast 5 soundtrack, the one that goes. So when he played it on his computer, like he literally opened his laptop like while he's explaining everything to us, and he goes to the project, like the project where he produced the beat, the project where Marcelo D Dois recorded on it. I was just like, there is no way that these are the people that I'm actually meeting. There's no way that these are the people that are actually mentoring us. I was like, this is crazy, like crazy, because that's my favorite song in the movie. And the thing about it is, I never knew the name of it, but it would always ring in my head like at random moments, and I would just be like, but how do I even search for this song? Because it's like, there's no lyrics that I can make out because it's in Portuguese. So when I found out that, okay, geez, the guys who made the song are actually in front of me, then that just gave me a whole new perspective. It was just like, geez, this is like crazy. Now we had to like finish recording our tracks. We re-recorded like our demos, we finished the beat, polished the beats. After we did that, Navi Beats came into the different studios because there were multiple studios in that building. So he came to our studio, he listened to our tracks, and he listened to Janvi's part. I was like, yeah. He listened to my part, he was like, yo. He even said, he was like, yo, this is dope. And he even said like the verse reminded him of like an old school Kendrick. I was just like, yo.
Kendrick. Kendrick-ish. Eu falei, slow, mas tipo, a gente tem que pegar esse cantar mais old school.
Por que ele não é?
Não sei, acho que... Deixa eu pegar o meu.
I mean, if you're gonna say that, bro, then I'm gonna take it, you know. So that was really dope. Dapped him up, you know, gave me props, whatever. We basically finished our songs, and I think we had a free night on that night. We had a free night on this night. So after the whole Navi Beats thing, we recorded our songs. Okay, cool. We went back to the hotel, and from the hotel, we were like, okay, guys, so what are we gonna do? So me, Garfield, Isabella, and All Ice went to some party. There was like a reggae party. All Ice was like, his friend is DJing there, so we went there to support the friend, whatever. And let me tell you, we took an Uber and we paid with Converse's bank account. So if you guys see any charges for Uber that you don't recognize, it was us. I don't know if we can get into trouble, but look, we used your bank account, guys. So we used Converse's bank account, we went, it wasn't an expensive Uber anyway. Party was cool, we just danced, whatever, it was just reggae, you know, we're just vibing or whatever. It wasn't anything too hectic. We were there for like an hour. And then after that, we were just like walking around the streets. Me, Isa, and Garfield went to like a gas station, took some pics, whatever. All Ice was still chilling with his friends and whatever, so it's just like, okay. It was pretty nice, you know, because we kind of got to like experience what it's like to be in the streets of Brazil. And everybody kept saying like, oh, Brazil is so dangerous. Obviously it's dangerous, every place is dangerous, you know. So we kind of did feel uneasy about being in the streets at like 11 p.m. But you know, it is what it is, man. We're just having a good time. So we went to that gas station, took pics, bought snacks, whatever, and then the four of us went back to the hotel. That was basically it on that day. Now it's the next day, it's the last day, day 6. And let me tell you, this day was sad, bro. I woke up feeling sad. Everybody kind of had that feeling of like, Ash, it's our last day together. It wasn't the day we flew out, but it was like our last official day. And then the morning after was when everybody was supposed to leave. So today, the main thing on today's agenda was the showcase, right? It was the showcase where we had to perform our songs in front of everybody. So we had to perform our songs in front of everybody, and then it was a closing party. That day was sad, but we were just like, you know what? Let's not be sad today. It's our last day. Let's enjoy it. So me, Genelio, and Garfield went to this market. Luckily, we found the mall open this time. It's not like the last time we went to the mall, it was closed. So we got to the mall. We were looking for outfits for the closing party. Obviously, there's the language barrier, right? Not a lot of people, they speak English. So I go into one of the stores and I see the prices there, and I see she had like specials, and then like she had, if you buy 2 of this, you can buy it for this price. If you buy 3, it's for this price. So I was just trying to confirm that, okay, cool, because you know the like how the graphic looks. Like it'll have the star, and then in Koki it'll be like 2 for this, 3 for this. So I just wanted to make sure that it actually meant what I thought it meant. So I say to the lady, I'm like, is it 2 for 150? She didn't understand me. I'm like, gosh. So now I'm in the store looking at things. I found some nice things, but I'm still like trying to communicate to her. So I'm like, okay, here we might come across a problem. So now what happens is I open Google Translate on my phone and I translate from English to Portuguese. But at the same time, as I'm in the store, she's like pushing me to buy. Like, you know, she keeps asking and she keeps showing me like the card machine. And I'm trying to tell her like, I am buying, but you know, I want to try things on. I want to make sure that these things actually fit me and whatever. And we obviously can't communicate that with each other. So at some point in time, this guy walks into the store and she asks him in Portuguese, do you speak English? And he's like, yes. And then she's like, can you please help us communicate? I asked him, I was like, okay, just confirm the prices with me. Is it really 150 for 2 t-shirts? Then he asks her in Portuguese. And then she's like, yes. Then he tells me, yes. Then I'm like, okay, cool. Then I tell him, please tell her I am gonna buy something. Just, I want to try it on, make sure it fits. And then he told her in Portuguese. And then she looked at me, then she's like, okay. Then I'm like, okay, cool. So I tried on my stuff. I was like, okay, cool, this is what I'm gonna wear. Bought the stuff. And then after buying that, we explored a bit more. Then we went back to the hotel, got ready for the closing party. Then we got into the sprinters. We got to the location. So when we get to the location, there's like Brazilian celebs and all that kind of stuff. The lady's like, okay, cool. The groups are gonna showcase their songs. Let's begin. Then group 1 goes on. Then they do their speeches. They talk about the song. The song was nice. Group 2, group 3. Now it's group 4. I was group 4. We go on. We perform our song. I do my verse. So now I do my verse, and then because we were the last group, the showcase is over now. It's like, okay, cool, we can just party, have a good time, sharp. After that, you know, everybody's just giving each other props, and people are coming to me like, yo, bro, you're so quiet. We don't even know, like, you can do this. We don't even know you're capable of this. Like, it's like I'm seeing a whole different Stiro. I'm seeing a whole different person. That was nice. Obviously, I gave everybody else props as well. It was because genuinely everybody did have a nice song. So after that, we're just partying, you know. So there was a downstairs and there was an upstairs. The downstairs is where we had the showcase and where the bar was, and then the upstairs is like just another chill area where the food was. I went up, I had a few finger foods and whatever. And when I look at the building next to us, they had this tall building next to us, and they were broadcasting like just footage from throughout the week. And I was just like, yo, like we're all just looking at that building like yo, this is like a big deal, you know. I was also just one of those moments where it's like, geez, like what we're doing here is big, you know, regardless of who came from where. That whole experience in Brazil, that whole thing that we did in Brazil was big for whichever industry we were in, you know. Everyone that was there was just a huge thing for us to be there doing what we do, you know. So went downstairs, we continued partying, you know, chatting to the other old stars, you know. So Garfield had disappeared, like I hadn't seen him for a minute, so I was like, where's Garfield? So now I go to the studio where I had kept my bag, and he was in there with Julia, and they were just chatting, you know. And I'm like, yo bro, you good? He's like, yeah, no, I just need to relax a bit. I was like, okay, cool. I see these Converse logos on the table. There's about 4 of them, and I'm looking at them. So me, Julia, and Garfield are in the room, and they're in the studio. And I'm like, guys, do you think if we take one of these we'll get into trouble? And then Julia was like, no, I don't think it's such a good idea. And then she left the room. Then I say to Garfield, I'm like, okay, my guy, we're in Brazil. We need some souvenirs to take back home, bro. So then he was like, are you sure, Stero? Are you sure about that? I was like, bro, let's do it. And then I told him, look, I'm taking one. If you don't take one, then that's on you, but I'm taking one. I took it from the table, I put it in my bag, I zipped my bag, continued partying. He took one, we're like, okay, cool, continued partying. Time flew by so quickly that night, bro. Time flew by so quickly that night. Before I knew it, it was already like 2 a.m. And at that time, people are asking, okay, so what's the plan now? Are we going back to the hotel or are we gonna go to this other place and continue the party there? So the other place was some kind of club. Because it was the last day, all of the all-stars were like, nah, we can't go back to the hotel now, we have to go to a second location. So we went to a second location where one of the DJs, one of the all-stars was a DJ. So, well, a few of them were, but the one I'm talking about now was performing at that club. She had a gig there. So she was like, let's go to the club, I'll let you guys in for free drinks, free food, whatever. We're like, okay, cool. So we get to this place, and honestly, I don't really remember much of what happened there. But the thing is, we were there for like 2-3 hours, but all I really remember is just like walking up and down. I was talking to like one of the other all-stars, and we were just like walking up and down the place, chatting, going from one section to another section, you know. And that was that, man. And then at around 5 a.m. we get back into the Sprinter, drive back to the hotel. When I get to the hotel, the producer's there. I was confused. I was like, bro, what are you doing here? He's like, nah, I live nearby, so I just thought I'd go home from here. So I spoke to the producer a bit. He was like, yo, man, your song is so dope. It's nice to work with somebody from South Africa. You know, I've worked with a lot of people this side, but you know, you really stood out. So yeah, that was that. And then slept, and that was basically the end of that day.